Our editor-in-chief, Ron Filipkowski, puts it perfectly. He writes, in the last 24 hours, Donald Trump wished the Virgin Mary happy birthday. He pitched Hulk Hogan's beer. He talked about Hannibal Lecter. He said he will imprison people he thinks are cheating. He called Elon Musk Leon. He forgot Governor Doug Burgum's name. He called Brian Brar. He said Keystone was Keytown. He called a tampon a tampum. And he said if he loses, Israel will cease to exist. He said nuclear war will begin immediately if he loses the election. He says this will be our last election if he loses the election. He says that the Colorado governor will flee the state if he loses the election. He posted ad after ad of his digital NFTs that he is grifting. He ranted about Vice President Kamala Harris standing on a box at the debate. And he wrapped it all up by saying that schools are performing trans surgeries on students and kidnapping the kids when their parents don't even realize it. Donald Trump did all of that. I have the receipts for it, but let me also show you what Mark Cuban had to say. Mark Cuban writes, no question that mainstream media, or as I call it here on the MeidasTouch Network, corporate media, protects the Republican candidate Donald Trump by not reporting on what he literally says. If anyone else used the exact same language, they would dismiss this individual as incoherent, senile, incompetent, or worse. For all the Trump supporters, Mark Cuban says, I've got a question. Which startups has Donald Trump ever invested in that didn't involve a family member? I'll ask this question. What entity that Donald Trump ran ever performed well? I mean, you take a look at Trump Media, which is like crashing right now. Here's what Mark Cuban also writes. He goes, it's not about saying anything negative or positive or even the volume of either. It's about letting him answer the question he wants. That's what the mainstream media lets him get away with, even if it's not the one he was asked. He never, ever directly answers a question, any question. And that is the failing of the interviewer and the media for not calling him out on it. He was asked, how can we better institutionalize trade policy and national security policy to be coordinated? He gave a 1,000-word answer to everything but the question. Yes, it will happen every interview, but no one ever says he didn't answer the question at all. They Trump-splain for him, or as we call it here at the MeidasTouch Network, they sane wash for him. This is the definition of mainstream media, or we call it corporate media, protecting Donald Trump. He does it in every single interview. Our editor